What is up, everybody? This is Keith, the Go Big Gator Guy, 231 across DFS history. It is Monday night, April 5th. I might not sleep tonight because we have the Champions League tomorrow. My team, Liverpool, after a huge win versus Arsenal, heading to Madrid to take on Real Madrid. And then we've got City hosting Dortmund. Going to break down all the picks, kind of some matchups, how I see the games going. A quick reminder, like, comment, and then just mash that subscribe button if you haven't already. Tons of videos coming up. TK's taping the Masters probably as we speak. Got me here with soccer. We've got NHL. The baseball guys are crushing it. So much awesome stuff at FSI. We'd love to have you aboard, even if it's just the free YouTube channel. We really do appreciate it. All right, let's get into the games. Let's start with Liverpool versus Real Madrid. I actually think this is the game that you don't really have nearly as much of as City versus Dortmund. Liverpool, Madrid is pretty square. Liverpool's a slight favorite away from home, plus 161, 2.5 total. Here's what I'll just say about the game. Madrid's really, really hurting, losing Ramos. He keeps that whole entire back line. Even if he has his own faults, right? He can be a little bit sometimes too aggressive. Make some unnecessary fouls, unnecessary yellows, has a history of red cards. He still is the leader of the team. Comes up huge, whether it's free kicks or penalties. And then again, just Varane is so much better when Ramos is with him. So I do think it leaves the back line a little bit vulnerable. Is Liverpool ready to fully take advantage of it? I don't necessarily know. I'm not finding myself gravitating towards Liverpool attacking pieces. It just means that I'm not as fond of Madrid. I think that they're going to have to kind of be a little bit more pragmatic with no Ramos, and not make many mistakes, which really could kind of take away a lot of the juice from their attackers. So I think all your attackers are really going to come from Man City and Dortmund. I do think guys like Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold are going to have some ability to get forward, especially with Fabinho back in the midfield. It's been huge for Liverpool. Phillips isn't great. Kabak, who knows if he's that great? He has potential, but just having Fabinho, kind of that deep lying six role for Liverpool, is huge. Lets them go forward. So I do like Trent Alexander-Arnold. He'll be in the core. Robertson, I'm a big fan of. And then I do think Mane and Salah have the ability to do well, especially Mane against Vasquez, who's not a natural fullback, and Varane, who again is not as good without Ramos. So I think Mane could make sense. I hope Jota gets to start. Diogo Jota has been just huge for Liverpool. So yeah, that's that game. If you had a gun to my head, it would be a 1-1. I could see a 0-0 draw. I don't think it's going to be high scoring. I do think that Liverpool potentially has, a decent shot at least maybe getting an away goal. A 1-1 would be a huge result for them. Go back to Anfield, see what happens. Dortmund and City. I think this is going to get ugly. Dortmund is not good. Just not good. I'm going to pull it up real quick as I'm saying it, but City is the best team in the world. Especially with Bayern not having Lewandowski. I really think that City could give Dortmund all they can handle. Just here's Dortmund's last few games. 2 goals allowed versus Frankfurt. Frankfurt, even though they have Kostic, nowhere near City. FC Köln, fighting relegation in Bundesliga, 2 goals. They scored 2-2. And then Hertha got a red card late, but Dortmund had been up 1-0 on them. Not impressive. Sevilla scored 2. Bayern Munich scored 4. There's a decent comp for what they're going to see with City. Dortmund's just not been good. The defense has been rough. The attacking hasn't been great. I think Haaland might be way more owned than he should be, given the fact that City, best defense in the world. I think that we can easily say that. So no, I don't want any Haaland. I think that City's going to dominate possession, dominate the attack. Both your forwards are going to be from City. You're going to have Kevin De Bruyne. Everybody should, especially with where they priced him. And then it's just going to be, do you go more? Do you play Ederson? Do you play Gundogan revenge game versus Dortmund? I don't know if it's revenge. It's been a while, but he used to play for Dortmund. Do you play Cancelo? It's really going to be a City slate at its finest. So let's kind of just pull up my screen. I'll get into some instructions. I hope this little just preview kind of helped. Just some ideas of the game. So now let's just go from the DFS perspective and some instructions. So based on that lineup over the weekend where we saw Mahrez, we saw Jesus, and we saw Aguero all start, I think that for certain Sterling is going to be back. Then it's really just going to be a question of what Pep does. He could end up playing like Kevin De Bruyne through the middle, playing like a false nine, which has been giving teams havoc. Play some Foden, or we could see Jesus. I doubt we see Aguero in back-to-back games. But I think that Sterling at 7,100 is a guy I'm really interested in. He's had a rough season, but Emre Can, he's actually a value play in the slate, but he's playing right back. If I see Sterling on the left, that is just a huge pace disadvantage. And then again, these guys that have to play like mismatched position, like Emre Can has never been a right back. When they have to play against an elite guy like Sterling that can draw PKs, can just make his life hell, I think it's a big mismatch. So I like Sterling a lot. I think for the second forward, if Mahrez is in, I think he'll be very popular. He's been great for City. Maybe even take some corners. Benzema, I guess if you're going to play a Madrid attacking piece, you can do that. Salah, Mane, I kind of talked about. Haaland, no chance. I'm looking forward to seeing Haaland's at 45% owned. I get it. The price is awesome. The name recognition. He's just going to be over-owned for the matchup. So I think I legitimately, if I play 5 lineups, I will play no Haaland. If I play 10, I might get to 1. I'm not going to play 10. I'm going to play like 5. I'm not going to play Haaland. I think it's a good slate to take a stand on. And if a guy's that owned, doesn't really have a floor, yeah, I'm going to fade Haaland. Comment if you think I'm stupid. I like hearing these conversations. I won't attack you. I don't know if I've ever attacked anybody on a comment thread before, but I'm curious. I really don't like Haaland here at all. I think you're gonna see Stones and Diaz back together, which is just when City's at its best. You might even see Fernandinho and Rodri again. That worked out really well versus Leicester. So yeah, not a fan. Do like Jesus. I think Jota for a GPP play, with everybody being on Mane and Salah, would be great. He's scored like 7 straight games if you include international break. I might be wrong. It feels like it's that many. There's Aguero. If he starts 6,700, that would fit. I'm just going to skip down. Again, I'm not a big fan of Madrid pieces. I think Bernardo Silva didn't start. He'd be interesting, 5,700. Here's the thing with Silva. He doesn't have a floor, especially when KDB's in. He's not going to take corners over KDB or Mahrez. But he's forward eligible. He's 5,700. He can easily get on the end of a goal or assist, and he's on City. So I think he's in play. And that's it at the forward position. I got nobody else here. If you wanted to YOLO punt Thiago, just because he's the cheapest forward eligible player, I guess, get 4 or 5 DK. In my builds, I didn't really see a reason I needed to get it. All right, next core play. So if Sterling's in, begrudgingly a core play, but he's probably my favorite price per dollar forward on the site. Kevin De Bruyne should be 100% owned. Anything less is paying the rake. So thank you very much, but not going to go into him. Phil Foden, if in, would be really interesting. I don't think he'll start in such a big game, but, Pep's going to Pep. Gundogan, as I mentioned, I think is a really good play off of what's going to be a very, very chalky Toni Kroos in cash and GPP. So Gundogan, all he's been doing is scoring goals in the league. So I think he's a really nice pivot off of the safe cashy Toni Kroos, who's most games is in that 7 to 12 range. He's the only Madrid player I'm really all that interested in. I think him and Benzema, the rest are passes for me. Should be on almost a monopoly of set pieces. Does the defensive work, get some fouls drawn, shots assisted, all that stuff. So 6,900 I think is a really good deal for Toni Kroos. Other players in the midfield, God, there's just not a ton of plays. I think if Isco started at left wing, 4,300, he'll play maybe 60, 65 minutes. That could make some sense. I think Rodrigo, you could do worse, 3,900. He always seems to show up. I'm not going to be on any Dortmund pieces here, guys. Actually, one. Sorry. There'll be a defensive. Shan, I'll start in a minute. I don't know if you necessarily need him, but it's interesting. You could punt Delaney, but at that point, maybe just play Fabinho. That's midfield. It's going to be this, or you go instead of Kroos if Foden's in, or if Gundogan is. That's the only midfield options. Defender Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's just been really awesome for Liverpool. I actually heard about him getting dropped from not getting the call for England and him being pissed, and that kind of being something this weekend versus Arsenal. So let's see if he can keep that momentum going. I think Cancelo versus Robertson for a second defender. If you decide it's going to be a 3, if you decide that you want to, I think that makes a ton of sense. Robertson splitting sets, Cancelo obviously being in a better matchup. You know, after that, I'm actually going to scroll down here. Mendy, I don't really want to put part of it 4,100. I think that Ruben Diaz at 3,100 makes a lot of sense. These City center backs are going to have a floor of 70 to 80 passes, and then a decent odds at a clean sheet. So between Stones, you know, maybe more of a set piece threat, but DS 3,100 sticks out. Then I think really popular on cash will be Emre Can. He is playing right back. He's not going to go forward at all. He did over the weekend, but versus City, I can't see it. 2,500, you know, min price fullback. So whatever. Yeah, I think that that's really going to be the decision, though, is like, what do you do at second defender? Do you end up playing Cancelo or Robertson? And that's going to set you up with, you know, I think that a goal you could really easily pay up, especially if you're fading a Haaland with his ownership. If you play Ederson, that could be kind of a double dip. I don't necessarily know that this is a slate I'm going to pay all the way down. Typically I'm always on team pay down, right? Unless you just, the salary savings doesn't get you anywhere, then just go find something else. I think Courtois, Allison, or Ederson is where I'm going to go. I do kind of want to play Ederson if I have the salary. You know, you do something like this. If you played Bernardo, let's see if we played Bernardo. Yeah, you got 3,900, so you can make a lineup there. Or, you know, don't pay up for Robertson. Let's say that, you know, I want to play a second City. Let's say it's Jesus, right? All right, now I play a guy like DS. Boom, 4,100. I can find something there, right? Yeah, there's some stuff there. More City pieces. You go all the way down here for Emre Can. What does that give us? You know, 4,700. Now maybe we're in fullback range. There's Zinchenko. I don't think he starts. Yeah, it doesn't add much. You know, there's Isco. But you can see he played around. Now, you know, change up goalie, do Courtois. 5,800. Now we get one of those elite. We could get Silva. We could get Cancelo, Robertson. I'm not going to play Marcelo if, and I think that he may be a trap play. I've seen some 3 in the back. Actually, I don't know. He's decent for DFS, so I guess that'd be the case. I have to imagine that Zidane starts Mendy, but you know, you could do the same type of construction with Allison. You get the idea. So, you know, it's really going to be, I think almost everybody's going to have this. These 3 are going to be like the cash core for most people. I think Sterling, if in, just because the price makes a ton of sense, like I mentioned with the matchup. Then it's going to be second forward. What do you do at defender? Goalie, and then utility. I still think there's a lot of other players. So it's just whoever fits. That will be how I roll. Guys, hope that helps. Make sure to follow me at GatorGuy231. Would love some extra follows on Twitter. And then feel free to comment. Do not comment if you want answers. The hour before the game, I'm not going to answer. That's our time for the subscribers in the Discord chat. If you want to join, there's plans for as low as, I don't remember, it's like $4, something like that, maybe 3. Go on the site. Link is in the details. Check out the plans. It's a great time. Cover every single soccer slate. So I hope to see you there. And with that, I'll say, see you.